The Oracle Network. Look deeper.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Welcome to Active Shooter, a podcast that covers the whys, the hows, and the aftermath of active shooter and mass casualty events.
They have an active shooter in the building. A second call says they are being attacked.
I've been shot. 16910 means we got shots fired at 4:15 a.m. Route 91. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Active shooter, reports of an active shooter,
mass casualty incidents.
Thank you for listening.
You are listening to Active Shooter, a podcast that may contain adult themes, explicit language, and graphic depictions of violence. Portions of this show may be traumatic for those under 18. Listener discretion is advised.
Denver 7 News starts right now.
A deadly shooting spree in Colorado Springs ends with 4 people dead. Police shot and killed the man they think started it all. It began as a shooting investigation on Prospect Street and Platt Avenue this morning. It ended in the area of Platt and Wasatch Avenue.
People often question fate. Does it exist? Can you change it? In almost every shooting or mass murder event we have covered, the victims have usually intended to be precisely where they were at the moment their lives changed forever. The horror of these appalling acts of violence is not something anyone would choose to experience, even if they wanted to be at a particular place or event where it happened. Whether it be school, a movie theater, concert, or even the mall, most people in attendance were there for a specific reason or purpose. It's not their fault, and most victims of mass shooting events, whether alive or not, are bonded forever by the shared trauma of imminent death in such a cruel and disturbing way. However, a shared experience isn't the reason these 3 innocent people were senselessly killed in Colorado Springs, Colorado, on October 31st, 2015. No. These were mostly strangers to each other, yet were nearly in the same place, at the same time, as a madman. One who was on the loose and bent on extinguishing as many lives as possible before his was taken. Not one case this podcast has covered is justifiable. It could never be. On the other hand, this particular act's randomness is so sinister, so meaningless, that it makes the tragedy of the lost lives nearly unbearable.
Active Shooter the podcast is a High Five Holly production, and I'm your host, JT. If you've listened to our prior episodes, you know that the Active Shooter podcast team has taken the No Notoriety pledge, and we will not be sharing the real name of the shooters that we cover. We will be giving the shooters a pseudonym and refer to them by that name throughout the episode. This will help in clearing up any confusion in the story, while remaining true to our pledge in not naming the shooter by their actual name.
We will refer to today's shooter as Mark. Colorado Springs, Colorado, is a beautiful mountain town with incredible fall weather. Sadly, in the fall of 2015, it became the unlikely backdrop of 2 different shooting events, transpiring within a month of each other. In today's episode, we will be discussing the first shooting that happened. The shooting event itself had 3 different shooting sites, resulting in 3 crime scenes, 3 deceased victims, and a dead shooter. 33-year-old Mark's morning began at approximately 7:15 a.m. when he went to McDonald's for a cup of coffee. It was Halloween, but Mark wasn't wearing a costume that day, so it was a shock when a couple of the employees saw the butt of a gun sticking out of a holster on his chest. Shaken and concerned, they called the police. However, the law couldn't do anything since no crime was committed. Because Colorado is an open carry state, he couldn't be detained simply for carrying a gun out in the open. Mark asked employees if he could use the bathroom, and they said he could, but they requested that he leave his backpack sitting outside the bathroom door, and he did. This was extremely quick and brilliant thinking by those employees. They may very well have saved many lives that day, including their own. After thanking the employees for letting him use the bathroom, Mark wished them a happy Halloween and promptly left the McDonald's. Mark was carrying a Ruger SP-101 .357 Magnum revolver, a Springfield Armory XDM 9mm pistol, and was also armed with a DMPS Classic 16 AR-15 style rifle. Each of the weapons Mark had on him that day were purchased legally in 2009, though it appears that the pistol and revolver were not used in the commission of the crime. At approximately 7:30 a.m., Mark called his ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth, who also happened to be his ex-roommate, and left her a voicemail. After hearing about the shooting, Elizabeth reported the call and message to the local authorities. Less than an hour later, everything would change. Mark was no longer the polite man that visited his local McDonald's for a morning coffee. At about 8:10 a.m., Mark's neighbor, Carrie Payne, saw him pacing back and forth in the front of his home. A little while later, at 8:30 a.m., another neighbor, Naomi Betts, saw Mark with what appeared to be a long gun and gas cans. Mark was witnessed going in and out of the abandoned business below his apartment by way of the broken front glass door. Naomi described this scene to the 911 operator during her terrifying call. The call wasn't handled with much urgency, being that Colorado was an open carry state and all.
Call 1 on Saturday, October 31st, 2015 at 8:45 a.m.
Colorado Springs 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
It's at...
Repeat that one more time for me and make sure I had it correct.
Well, it's across the street from me. I'm calling from my address.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, there's a guy walking around with like 2 cans of gasoline or something, 2 small cans, and a big, like a rifle. It's black, and it had a strap around it. He's walking up to doors and stuff, and then I seen that he walked into the building, and the glass window at that business is broke. So he's still in there. I'm kind of keeping an eye on him, but it's kind of scary. I went out there to get in my Jeep to get in there to go somewhere, and I'm scared to death.
Okay. And that's a business? What's the name of the business?
I have no idea, but I just know there's an apartment above that, at that place. It's kind of a scrap store, they keep paints or something, I don't know.
Okay, and there's no name on that business outside?
No.
Okay.
I can't see that far, but it has something written on the door.
And then when did this happen?
Just probably 10 minutes ago.
And he's still there now?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a fake gun, BB gun, but it looks pretty scary.
Okay. And you said it looked like a long gun, correct? Like a rifle?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, and then where is he now? Is he still inside?
He's still inside that building on the lower level.
And then I need to get that person's description. Do you know his name?
No, I don't. He had a black cap on, and I don't remember the clothes, but he had long hair coming up out of the cap.
And was the male white, black,
Hispanic? He's coming out now. He's got a green jacket. I don't know. He's going upstairs. Maybe he lives there, but he shouldn't be holding that gun around to anybody.
Okay.
Or around anybody.
And do we know how old he looked?
He looks like about 35 or 30.
How tall was he?
Probably 6 foot.
Thin, medium, or heavy build?
Thin.
And what color was that long hair?
Black, brown.
Dark.
Not real long. It just curls out from underneath his hat.
And
it may be the guy that lives upstairs because he ran right up there, but he still shouldn't be holding that gun.
Well, it is an open carry state, so he can have a weapon with him or walking around with it. But, of course, having those gas cans, it does seem pretty suspicious, so we're going to keep the call going for that.
Okay, and the window's broken to that business downstairs, so...
Right. And you said he's now upstairs, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then did he arrive in a vehicle?
No.
Okay. And are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
No.
Okay. And from what you can see, does anyone need medical attention?
No.
And then how did he enter the building?
He just opened the door and walked in. And then he came out and then went upstairs and walked right in. I can see the doors open now upstairs. He could live up there, but it was scary because he was going across the street to the ladies next door, and then he'd come back out like he was looking for something or somebody.
Okay.
I just hope this, it's not as bad as it is.
No, I understand. And again, we'd rather be proactive and make sure everything's okay than to just, assume everything is all right and have something go wrong. So you definitely did the right thing by calling.
Okay.
And then what are the possible exits from the building? Like, which side are the doors on?
The side, both doors are facing east, and it's on the west side of the street.
Okay. And then are there any windows in that unit as well?
Yes.
Okay.
All the way around.
On both levels, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a handgun now he brought down from upstairs. Now he's going back into the building. He's got a backpack on his back. Blue. He went back into the bottom building.
Okay. And then is there anyone else in that building who belongs there?
There might be a young gal. She's got blonde hair. That's all I know.
Would she be upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs. And I won't be around because I've had a lot of losses this week, and I have to go meet with all the families.
Okay. And you're not required to stay there. We just, of course, advise not to get involved or disturb anything at the scene.
Sure.
We'll have officers dispatched out as soon as possible. And, of course, if you see anything else suspicious, any other vehicles that he might leave in or anything like that, I want you to call us back immediately so you can get that description as well.
Yeah, but there is 2 cars in there in the driveway that they do drive, but I can't tell what they are.
Can you see the colors of them?
One's a dark blue and one's almost a black.
And they're both cars, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and are they 2 doors, 4 doors?
One's a 4-door, and I think they're both 4 doors.
Okay. Okay, and then again, we do have that call started for you. I want you to call us immediately if anything changes, you have any further information, or if you see him, leave. Is there anything else I could do for you at all?
No, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for giving us a call. We have this started for you, and have a safe day, ma'am, and I'm sorry for your losses this week.
Thank you very much.
I hope you feel better and have a good day.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye.
The operator dispatched one officer to the scene, except the officer never made it there because he was called off, sent to a more urgent disturbance at a senior home that threatened human life. With no other officers available to respond to the complaint about the man walking around with gas cans and guns, the dispatcher canceled the call. A mere 4 minutes after the initial 911 call, the same person called 911 again to state a man had been shot.
Call 1 on Saturday, October 31st, 2015 at 8:56 a.m.
Colorado Springs 911, what's the exact location of the emergency?
I just called a few minutes ago, and the guy came back out, and he fired a gun at somebody, and he's laying on the street dead. Oh, my God. You sent an ambulance, too. And the guy's got a green army jacket, and he walked up towards, Platt, north on Platt Avenue. Oh, my God.
Okay, calm down, okay? Stay with me. I'm just putting that into the call.
Oh, my God. I've never seen... Oh, God. He's got a handgun and a big rifle gun, and like a machine gun in it. And some guy was just riding his bike through the alley, out the alley, and the guy started shooting him, and he's laying dead. You need to have somebody come over here right away.
Okay. Naomi, I need you to calm down, okay? Are you with the patient now?
No, I'm across the street in my house. The guy might be shooting me, too.
How old is the patient?
I can't tell. He looks like he's young, maybe 30 or 20. I don't know. I can't see him. He's laying in the driveway. He was riding his bike, and he's awful. Please send somebody here.
Okay. Are you at this location now?
I'm already across the street from it.
Okay.
Oh, my God. I think